Today we're with David Shapiro. David is a criminal defense attorney in San Diego, California. He's agreed to answer some online questions related to domestic violence. If you're in a situation where you're facing charges of domestic violence, and obviously you're in the process now of considering hiring an attorney, one of the things you can do that I'd recommend is take a look online at some of the customer or client reviews from previous clients. In the case of David, he's got a ton of very positive client reviews. This is from Google to Yelp, Avvo. I mean, he's actually got a perfect 10 rating in Avvo. If you're not familiar with Avvo, it's actually a website where other attorneys as well as clients can rate you based on previous experiences, and so definitely something you should consider in that process. He's also agreed to answer your questions directly. So if you have a question related to criminal defense, in this case specifically domestic violence, all you need to do is post the comments or post your question to the comments section below, and he'll get back to you typically within 24 to 48 hours. With that said, David, let's go into the first question that was posted online. I've been charged with domestic violence, not convicted. If I'm convicted, will I lose joint custody of my son?
Well, that's a good question. Possibly is the answer from the criminal defense attorney standpoint of it. What you need to be aware of is a lot of times the child, if remotely present during the alleged act of violence towards your spouse, baby's mother, whatever the situation may be, the child could also be considered a victim or an alleged victim of the act of domestic violence. Many times clients of mine will get charged with domestic violence offenses towards their spouse or ex-spouse, and the child who's present would also be named as an alleged victim under the theory that their mental health was endangered, child endangerment charge or child abuse charge. So that's something you need to keep in mind, where that person in the criminal court case, your child, might be a protected party. So you might not have any contact, not be allowed to legally have any contact with your child as part of the criminal court case. As far as child custody stuff goes, obviously a domestic violence conviction, any conviction would be a problem. Specifically, though, the best approach is to hire an experienced family law attorney who deals with divorces or deals with child custody stuff, more importantly, who could work hand in hand with your criminal defense attorney, someone like me, to make sure that you're protected both in criminal court and then in family court. In the event that the case in criminal court does resolve by some sort of a negotiated deal, we want to make sure that what we resolve the case for in criminal court, although in and of itself may be a really great deal, we want to make sure that also protects you in family court, most notably in your situation with child custody.
Okay, all right. Next question we had was, my ex-husband has been convicted of domestic violence. I'd like to get a restraining order. Is all I need to do is go to this link and complete the form? And just so you know, for the people watching, there is a link to the state website, and that will be in the description below.
Well, I mean, you could certainly go to the California court's website, and that's something you can do to fill out a restraining order packet and gather some basic information. It's always better to go into court and have the assistance of an attorney when you petition the court for a protective order. But what I can tell you is, if your husband has already been convicted of domestic violence in criminal court, and certainly if he is still on probation, as part of that probationary sentence, if convicted of a domestic violence offense in California, it's mandatory that there be some sort of protective order. Whether it's a full protective order or whether it's what's known as a no negative contact order, there's likely one already in place as part of the criminal court case. Whether or not there is, though, you definitely have those rights to go and petition it through civil court, particularly the Domestic Violence Division of Civil Court. And that website, the California Courts, or sdcourt.ca.gov, is another one here in San Diego, where you can get the specific form, get the basic information, and then you should always roll into court with an attorney to make sure things are done the right way, your rights are protected, and to give yourself the best chance of success.
Okay. And the final question we had is, I was convicted 11 years ago of felony domestic violence. Can I get this removed from my record?
I'm assuming you're referring to 1203.4 relief of the Penal Code, commonly referred to as expungement. Provided you successfully completed probation, you should be eligible to have the conviction set aside and the case dismissed. That'll help in many aspects, not in as many aspects as you would think, though, but a lot of times it's the best relief you can hope for. Best thing you can do is gather the information as it relates to your prior conviction, case number, penal code sections you were convicted of, or at the very least be able to provide an attorney with your date of birth and the location of the courthouse where you were convicted. That way he or she could pull the information, be able to advise you accordingly based on the specific offense for which you were convicted of. But you should be able to get some sort of relief.
Okay, excellent. Well, David, I want to thank you for your time. Again, if you're watching the video, feel free to reach out to David directly. You can post a comment here. He also does offer free consultations. So if you are in a situation where you're charged with domestic violence, not exactly sure what to do, first step, just go online, look at some of his reviews, and then after that, just give him a call. Like I said, free consultation. David, I want to thank you for your time.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.